Hello, you guys, and welcome to the Woman's Cave Mobile. As you can tell, there's no giant screen and there are no books behind me and no flask. So obviously I'm mobile. Not very good mobile because it is killing my back to try to make an impromptu studio. I would let you do a full shot, but no. You would see all my fat, and that's not possible to be shown. I can't have that happen. Anyway, we wrote books. And when I say we, I mean I'm one of the 15 thought ladies. And yes, Jade is not here. I get to misbehave. I love it. Ow! Anyway, I'm still hurting from the car accident a couple of weeks ago. But here are our books. We have And I Thought Divorce Was Bad with Other Life Lessons. And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy. We thought it was, and it really isn't. We also do And I Thought I Did My Journey Alone. And I Thought I Could Juggle It All. And I Thought He Was the One. And I Thought the Workbook. So if you're getting over something traumatic or trying to start your own business, yes, we did a 3-course DIY book for you using our books. And I Thought I Had It All Figured Out. And then we have the Misfit Guides. The Misfit Guides, the sassy sway that leaves crooked footprints. And my favorite book, the Misfit Guides, the cocktails, the soirees, and the LBD. You guys were also the the editors of the Indie Authors 25 Hottest Indie Authors Advocate and Authors Award magazine. And yes, October the 6th, we have our literary magazine coming out. So you guys get online. You can actually buy it now. So you can go ahead and get it early. And we have Just Right in Life, the docu-series, because Jade is back. So it is a docu-series.
Jade is back!
Television show on Amazon and Channel 18 and Sacramento. Check us out because we're coming to Vegas for the Writers Experience Workshop, and we have a pitch fest going on. Yay! So you can pitch a publisher, a television producer, talent manager, you name it, you can pitch them and see if you can't get on their roster. Oh, not name it. No. We don't have an exotic dancer recruiter.
Hey,
no. You can't.
Hey.
We don't have one of those. You can't pitch them.
It's a family friendly show.
It is family friendly. I'm sorry. But today we have a wonderful, amazing guest. It's like if you're going to Vegas, she knows about every writing thing probably. Yeah. I looked at the list on her website and I was like, what doesn't she know about? That's creative. And wonderful guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Tonya Todd.
Oh my goodness, you're gorgeous. I mean, it's the first time I'm seeing the video pop up. I'm jealous. Really, really jealous. I can see 3 chins and 2 necks.
On yourself.
Yes, on myself.
Good,
I can see 3 chins.
Finally.
Shut up, Jade. All right, I'm sorry. I should ask you questions.
Yes.
First of all, we always send a letter out that says, hey, could you come on our show and would you like to pick a topic? And everyone goes, yes, I'd love to come on your show, but no one ever picks a topic. But Tonya took the time to send a topic. So Tonya, talk about your topic first, and then we'll ask questions.
Okay. Well, I thought this would be a good opportunity to discuss own voices authors and the challenges that come along with being that.
Absolutely.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I'm sure you guys know, as being own voices authors yourselves, that it was created initially to help people from marginalized backgrounds. And that could be a racial thing, a gender thing, a sexuality thing, disabilities, anything like that. But one of the side effects is that some people are being inadvertently outed if they do something like that. What if they weren't ready to come out as being gay? Or what if they don't want people to know about their disability because they're keeping it on the down low? But this is the only way that people will recognize their work. So there's that stress factor involved with it. The other issue that has been happening is that some agents feel that the work has to be focused on that disability or on your marginalization, as though no other aspect of your life is important. And unless you are writing specifically about that, they're not interested in it. But that's not the case for non-marginalized people. They can write about love or relationships or work-related stress or their families or anything. But for marginalized people, it needs to be focused on their marginalization, which is, again, that in itself is marginalizing them again.
Exactly. Okay, so we are in I Thought Ladies, and we don't speak on marginalization, but today I am. Wait, but Jade is here, so she might actually like smack me.
And no, I will not.
No, but it's kind of funny because for a while we were writing and we were trying to, and we got some attention, and we tried very hard to go mainstream. But since we're African American females, all anyone wants to read about is African American females. Like,
Right.
how is life with being African American female? And we're like, yeah, no, we talk about like divorce and emotional abuse,
or we got, oh, your father wasn't involved in your life. How was that? And I said, my parents, this is Jade speaking from the front, have been married for over 30 years. I have no idea what it's like to live in a single parent family, or to live in, as people would ask, in the hood. I don't know. I grew up in suburbia. I have no idea.
Can you hear her?
I can.
All right, cool.
So yeah, I can understand your point to that. And how do you think that we can change it?
I think that people should be more open to reading books about just people in general. Lots of people who are marginalized read books about people who aren't and enjoy those books without focusing on, you know, a gender specific issue, or it's just about life. And it's like saying that a marginalized writer doesn't have anything of value to say about human life except for their marginalization. And I don't think that that's true.
I think what really has happened is the fact that everyone wants to hear your story, but they only want to hear the story, a story,
Right.
not stories. So when you decide that you're going to speak about all of a sudden being, you know, semi less wealthy than you were in growing up in wealth, and you're like, oh, I lost some wealth in 2008, and you're like a black female, they're like, we don't want to hear that story. We want to hear a different one. That's perfectly fine. I mean, so
and I don't think that we should carry our marginalization around on our shoulders like, this is my life with it. We're trying to just live.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jade, you had a question?
Yes, I do have a question. So do you think that as the rise of self-published indie authors, do you think that is helping to decrease the marginalization or increase it?
I don't think I guess there are aspects of both, because with indie authors, and this is true across the board, not just marginalized authors, you have a mix of people who did it the proper way. They still had an editor, they vetted their work, they did their research, and they put out a good quality product. But there are also the people who did not do that, and marginalized or not, you need to put in the work. You need to learn the craft, and you need to put out a good quality product. And unfortunately, some indie authors, especially at the beginning when people started doing it, they weren't going through that process. So they set the bar low, and now people just assume that if you're an indie author that you put out a poor quality product. That's not the case. There are plenty of people who put out brilliant work, but it's harder for them to get noticed because of those people who initially just put up anything.
Now, I would like to just change the subject a little bit, but first, do you want to say anything else about the subject you wrote about? Because you took the time to think about it, and we appreciate it.
We thank you.
Well, there is one more thing, that when you are querying agents, if you're going the traditional route, it does put the onus on the author of having to somehow bring that up in the query letter. And it's very awkward. How do you say, oh, by the way, I mean, I guess if you're Black, they can look into it and see a picture of you, but how do you prove that you have OCD, or how do you prove that you're homosexual, or, you know what I mean? It's
exactly.
It's awkward, and it's one more step that people have to do that non-marginalized people don't have to do. And I just wish that maybe more agents were forgiving of that extra step that they have to say in their query letters, because there is just no smooth way to say, oh, by the way, I'm bisexual, you know?
I'm bisexual, I'm bipolar,
Right.
and I'm Black, and a female.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or better yet, my favorite one. I'm in an interracial relationship, so I can actually write this interracial romance.
Right.
No one wants to really. I don't want to tell people, like off the bat. It's something you figure out later. It's like, oh, you're my friend, and now you've met people. Look at that. Now you know I'm an interracial.
There's an invasion of privacy involved with having to out it as own voices, and not everyone is ready to come out in that regard.
Exactly.
But the other thing is, just because you are an own voices writer doesn't mean you're a good author. It doesn't mean that you have learned your craft. So I also don't think that people should automatically get a pass just because.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I actually, when they first started looking for African American literature, I really was looking for that pass. I was. But I had been around for almost 20 years by then, and I was like, dude, I need something. I was like, can you give me a pass on this? But that's okay. It's okay. Now I have my own thing, and it was because of an indie thing. And no, it's not on marginalized matters. I love that. So, okay, you are huge on this writing scene in Vegas, or you're just a really good writer and a great creative.
Yeah.
So, how did you start and go like, this is what I want to do?
Well, the big story that I'm writing, the one that I focused on the most, it came to me in a dream, and I started just jotting down notes about it because it just wouldn't leave me alone. And then it developed into a separate story entirely. And after 200,000 words, I thought, okay, I might want to do something with this. So I broke it into multiple stories, and I joined the Henderson Writers Group. And they offered me guidance and assistance in figuring out story arc and learning the craft and the beauty and punctuation, things like that. But I also joined the Writers Group of Southern Nevada, the Las Vegas Writers Group, Las Vegas Creative Writing Group. You know, the more voices you have helping you critique your work, the better you cover it.
Exactly.
I'm part of a few private critique groups as well, and that's where you really dig in. You know, that's where you can workshop a chapter. But in terms of just exposing your work to as many ears as possible to hear for potential problems, that's why I joined several writing groups, because a lot of what I write is women's fiction, so I need to expose it to a lot of women. But the Henderson Writers Group is primarily men who give excellent advice, and they are great critiquers, but I needed a woman's ear as well.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? We need more than one voice. So, you're also an actress.
I am. And that didn't start until after I started writing. It's weird. Some of my character story started materializing in my life. It was just manifesting. I worked as a programmer for years, and I was writing my book, and my character gets rid of her job and gets 2 months severance and starts acting. And my company had to let me go, and they gave me severance of 2 months. And then the owner of the company introduced me to an actress friend of his, even though he didn't know that I was writing this story. He had no idea about the book. He introduced me to an actress and said, I think that you would be good at this. And so,
so it's better than Stranger Than Fiction, dang.
It has gotten so bad that things that have manifested that I've had people make requests like, will you write a story about me, and make them, give them something successful happen to them. And then other people have said, don't kill anyone in my family because I know that you based this one character on me.
Oh my goodness. So how was it? Oh my goodness. I'm losing the question as I'm saying it. Like the words are just dropping off as I'm thinking this. Oh, scary. I'm going to go with the word scary. I had a different word in there altogether. I sound really intelligent and everything. But was it scary taking the creative route as a way to make income? Yes,
it's terrifying. Not only are you daily opening yourself to rejection with regard to auditioning and querying, it's like you're inviting the world, tell me I'm not good enough every day. But also
I think we all have a
ability in it. There's no way to just know 100% down the line that you're going to have X amount of dollars at the end of the month.
Exactly.
But if you don't believe in yourself, who will?
So you're always, I think that what's really fun about being a creative is that you use it for your work and then you use it to pay your bills. Like,
Right.
you get creative, like, about what you can offer to pay your bills.
Right.
What you can leverage, what knowledge you have that can get you a little more cash. I should probably stop giving away secrets of the creative life and let everyone think it's glamorous and wonderful, and we all end up on the red carpet at the Oscars or Emmys. So, Tonya, I want to thank you so much for coming in today, and it has been an absolute dream of a pleasure to interview you. My back disagrees, but I'm really in pain right now. But it has been fun talking to you. Is there like 3 things you want to tell any person who's thinking about taking on the creative role in their life, making it the prominent one, or a marginalized author out there who just wants to talk about mainstream subjects?
Well, I don't think that anyone should be limited in what they write, marginalized or not. If you are going to write about marginalized characters and you're not marginalized, just do your research. Spend time with people who've had that experience so that you are well informed when you write it. I definitely think that anyone who takes on a creative lifestyle should find their tribe, whether it's acting or writing or art. Find people who understand the struggle involved with it so that they can be there for you for the lows, because you know it's an up and down thing. It's not all happiness.
Oh no, it's not.
And when you start writing, you open yourself and you expose yourself to a new level of pain. Now that informs your writing and that helps you to do better in that regard, but it also makes you very vulnerable. And I'm attending a conference this week, and something that came up last night is that vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength.
No, it is. And it also, like,
art.
I think that one of the hardest things to do is make a character and a world vulnerable. But since we experience it often, it's not that hard. And we don't have to do it by saying this character is vulnerable.
Right.
In this situation, we could just do it. And we can give them thoughts, and we can just put them in a situation, and you feel the discomfort because
right.
We're there almost every day.
Yeah, it can be therapeutic. And I suppose the third thing would be learn your craft, whatever it is. Study, practice, work hard, and get critiqued so that you can improve. Don't just expect to write a first draft and, oh, it's perfect, let's publish it right now.
Oh, it's been an absolute dream of a pleasure to chat with you. And I'm going to let
people find you on the web.
Yep, I was just going to say, I'm going to let Jade ask that last question. Where can people find you on the web?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at MsTonyaTodd.com, and my website is MsTonyaTodd.com, MsTonya.com.
And it's an awesome website. Awesome website, you guys. Please go check that website out, and the biz one as well. I forgot the one already. I'm sorry. Yeah. All I'm thinking about is neck, shoulders, back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You guys, so this has been wonderful, and we want to remind you to go to andwethought.com, click on the ladies page, go to the middle, and probably support the charities that we probably support. They always need the help, and that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love from Winona and Jade. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.